It has to be said, there's never a dull moment with Meghan Markle regarding her children. She never fails to bring them into the conversation, particularly when she's receiving a lot of bad press. If you remember when she sat down with that Sunday morning CBS interview, she couldn't wait to say how amazing they were. They're only little, but gosh, they're wonderful. But of course, CBS, like so many people, were not allowed any pictures or indeed any back pictures, story, anything like that. No, that had to remain private. It's a little bit like when she rocked up at this time's Invictus Games over in Canada. The year before, when they went there on the promotional trip, Meghan famously said that she wanted her son Archie to experience this wonderful event. Everything was going to be terrific and all that sort of stuff. But of course, the minute it got close to that, no, there was no mention of Archie again. Even though, let's not forget, she managed to shoehorn him in on the opening speech, basically saying they will be cheering back on from California. Why couldn't they come over and literally sit with all of those children that she decided to read a story to in another designer frock? You see, double standards all the way. So with Meghan, is it really money or motherhood? Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Nice to have your company. I'm glad, by the way, you enjoyed the video, which I loved putting together for you. I have to say, when I find new things, it's always lovely to share these stories about the royals and the Titanic. What an incredible situation that was. So sad for so many families, even through so many generations, but continues to fascinate the world. And they have this wonderful museum over in Belfast. It is an experience, let me tell you, because you can see the opulence, that's there, and you think, wow. And this must have been like stepping on a totally different world way back in 1911, 1912. Sad though, obviously, but a wonderful story as ever. If you haven't checked it out, it's all free for you to enjoy. So if you have the time and you can, do support those other videos. I really enjoy making them for you. Now, here's where it gets interesting. As I said, motherhood or money. Now, what we had was simply this. Meghan Markle, as we saw, breezed into the Invictus Games, all breathless. She wasn't planning to speak, full makeup designer frock, jewels banging, the sort of thing, and then proceeded to speak at length for a period of time, of which Harry then came on and, they kissed. I mean, it's just, really be professional on these jobs. You do kind of think to yourself, what are you trying to push over here? Because it's seemingly not working. But then there was this bombshell news, of course, that have to wear in endless designer outfits over the last couple of days and feigning in, surprise and thrilled to meet people, all that sort of stuff. Not too keen to meet, of course, the celebrated author Tom Bower. Maybe that's what turned her away. She suddenly had to depart. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because according to a source, yes, she was never there to spend the entire week, but it did come a little earlier than anticipated. Now, there's a good reason behind that, and as ever, we have to say allegedly. You see, Meghan has less than 2.5 weeks to get the marketing bus going on her show With Love, Meghan. You get the picture. And the idea with Netflix is that they now want her to go out to a couple of these stores and film a couple of promos where, if all goes to plan, her jams will be now being sold. How far the mighty fall, right? Flogging jams in a shopping mall after being in the world's most famous family. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. But the true story is, well, Meghan apparently had to get back to see her children, and I'm sure that was the case in certain points, but also she's there back to make some money. And the bottom line is, Meghan wants to make this a success. By derailing it, as I told you before, there's a dubious attachment to that, and by the 4th of March, it really needs to go off with a bang. More importantly, sitting around watching other people, well, she could be doing something more, some might say, profitable. So was that the real reason why Meghan decided on money over motherhood? Either way, as ever, it's a story that's not going away. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.